live from the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. It is the 2026 NBA Draft. The biggest stars and the next stars of the NBA will be drafted tonight, including AJ DeBonza and Cameron Boozer, trying to follow his father's footsteps as he enters the league. Where will they fall, and what number will they be drafted tonight? It is the 2026 NBA Draft. Coming up next here on Ben Smith Broadcasting.
The following presentation is by Ben Smith Productions. Any use of this live stream, including screen recording, re-uploading, is strictly prohibited.
All right, everybody, it is the 2026 NBA Draft, and hello, everybody, to whoever's tuning in. My name is Ben Smith, and I will be the host of this NBA Draft coverage live on my YouTube channel for the fourth year in a row. We're doing this, actually fifth year streaming, fourth year on YouTube. So I'm really excited for this draft class because one of the biggest stars, AJ DeBonza Jr., expected to be drafted number 1 overall by the Washington Wizards as he awaits his name, a Boston native, hometown. I'm excited for this, and I hope you guys are too as we follow along the coverage of tonight's NBA Draft. There's nothing buffering this time for the draft, so thankfully we have a smooth draft going. So on the bottom screen right here, we have an image ticker. So this will show all the picks from 1 to 10. The next coming pick. So that's the bar that you'll see for the majority of the draft. And it's ranged from 1 to 10, starting with the Washington Wizards, then the Utah Jazz, then the Memphis Grizzlies. Along with that, 4th overall will be the Chicago Bulls. And then we'll have the Los Angeles Clippers, who, however, took over the trading rights from the Indiana Pacers. The 6th overall pick by the Brooklyn Nets. The 7th pick by the Kings. The 8th by the Hawks. 9th by the Mavericks. And the 10th overall will go to the Milwaukee Bucks. So that's the first 10 picks of the draft, and I'll switch it after each team gets picked, starting from 1 all the way. So after the first pick, I'll switch it to 11, so you'll see, and it will go from 2 all the way down. So it'll go as a pattern as it goes, to say the least. Hello, chat. Hopefully you guys are doing well today. However, we're gonna keep that aside, and we're going to go into right over to this breaking news, however, by Shams Charania. If you guys didn't hear yesterday, Giannis Antetokounmpo was traded to the Miami Heat. So, in the trade, it was the Heat would receive Giannis Antetokounmpo and Bobby Portis. Along with that, they would have received the Bucks would receive Tyler Hero, Khalil Ware, Jaime Jaquez, and Kasparis Jaquionis. Along with that, a 2026 number 13th overall pick, which will be finalized after the draft. However, the 2031 and 2033 first overall picks will go to the Bucks, in a 2030 pick swap and a 2023 second round pick. So huge value that the Bucks got in the trade. So here's the thing with this trade is that we knew that the Miami Heat were going to give away so much value in this trade. We knew that they were not going to trade 2 players. They were going to trade their whole entire roster because their roster would match the salary caps of Giannis Antetokounmpo. But however, what's a shocker to me is that Bobby Portis is in this trade, because that's the last person I would expect to be in it. Honestly, that is the last person I would expect to be in this trade tonight. in this trade actually. So Jaime Jaquez, and this is per Shams Charania. It's finalized. It'll be finalized after the draft and the first day of free agency and the first league new year. Technically, is when it will be finalized. However, if you're the Boston Celtics, this is a huge. Like, I'm a Celtics fan. I'll admit, is that I didn't really want Giannis because we're kind of trading from young to old, younger guys to the one of the older guys. Yes, he's an upper echelon player in this league, but you got to understand is that I I technically we're already in the minus for salary caps and whatnot. That trade would send us under too, because I mean technically you're still under $60 million because it's Jaylen Brown in this trade, but like it's Jaylen Brown on the roster too, and then you have two guys that are worth over $120 million. The whole, and on top of that, you signed Derek White to a long term extension the same day that Tatum was supermaxed to a 6 year, $350 million deal. However, the Celtics, they're if you're Jaylen Brown, I mean, you gotta request a trade if you are Jaylen Brown. You're just pissed off at the fact that kind of your team just let you down and aggressively pushed for you to get traded. There's no turning back on that. You can't act foolish. You just have to request a trade out of Boston if you're Jaylen Brown, because the fact is that ownership will kind of affect you in the long run. And the fact is that Jaylen Brown and Brad Stevens have a good connection. Brad Stevens is the one. He wasn't the one that drafted Jaylen Brown, however. It was Danny Ainge. But Brad Stevens coached Jaylen Brown to be at the level that he is today. And that's something that he won't he will remember too, but like at the same time we knew we knew the Miami Heat were going to give up so much for this. Technically, I think that the Milwaukee Bucks won this trade. Meaningly wise is because reason why is they have 2 first round picks this year that they're drafting. Uh, they're drafting 10th and drafted number 13th overall this year in the draft. However, the Miami Heat just traded away pretty much their whole roster and some of their prospects away. You traded away Jaime Jaquez, who's who's decently underrated. One of the most underrated guards in basketball right now. Then you traded away Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero is a bench player, however, but luckily now he can get his reps in as the starting role for the Milwaukee Bucks, and he's back in his hometown. Remember when he had this whole story with Marquette back in 2018, where he went to Kentucky instead of going to Marquette because he had the offers and he turned it down to go to Kentucky, his hometown, and nobody forgave him after that. And I mean, now if you're Milwaukee, you kind of want to look at other potential trade options for Tyler Hero. Could he go to a team like for say, I don't know. For say you trade him to the Portland Trailblazers. Trade him out west because he will fit into that. Trade him to any of the Western Conference teams because he will fit in any of those systems too. Is what I'm trying to say. But meanwhile, overall, this trade, the I think overall the Heat gave up too much in this trade. They gave up too much value to the Bucks in this trade. And that's just wrong. They just sent the Heat. The Heat just got sent back another 10 years, and they will probably not win. Probably will not even touch the Eastern Conference Finals for another 10 plus years because they threw away their entire roster. They had prospects on the team too. What's your starting five now? You realize that your starting five is going to be. Let me pull it up. Your starting five next year is going to be Davion Mitchell, too. That's one. Along with that, you trade. Then you have. They don't have good depth, is what I'm trying to say. So offensively, Bam Adebayo just scored that 83-point game this year. Offensively on the starting lineup, they're solid. But what's different is that what's different this year is that their bench is just garbage. It's below average. And that's what's going to kill them. But if you're the Celtics too, if I'm Jaylen Brown, I'm requesting a trade. I'm a Celtics fan. I'll admit, you got to request a trade because there is I heard Stephen A. this morning. There is no hiding from this organization. You have to request a trade because they pushed and pushed just to trade your ass, and they don't. It's clear that they don't want him there. Clearly, which. I mean, yeah, you kind of. I would just request it if I were Jaylen Brown. So, all right. The draft is about to start. However, It's 8:00 right now. However, yesterday there was also a bunch of different trades. And I know I tweeted yesterday is that I tweeted yesterday on Twitter at 12:21 a.m. or this morning. Honestly, I'm not mad that we didn't get Giannis. I'm mad at the fact that we just ticked off our best player who carried the team while Tatum was injured. Now he's going to request a trade out of Boston now that he knows that he knows that they were aggressively pushing him to get traded. For him to get traded. So that's what I put out at 12:21 last night. But honestly, too, what kind of ticked me off at the fact is that Shams Charania posted afterwards. He was like, the Celtics aggressively pursued Giannis, offering Milwaukee a package featuring 2024 Finals MVP Jaylen Brown and 2 first-round picks. Sources tell ESPN. The Bucks seriously negotiated with the finalists in recent weeks. Miami, Boston were both on Antetokounmpo's list of preferred destinations. So I knew pretty much about the trade. All right, Adam Silver is going to go to the podium. Let's listen in.
And welcome to the 2026 NBA Draft. Last week, just a few miles from here, more than 2 million people filled the streets of Lower Manhattan to celebrate the Knicks' first championship in 53 years. As we've seen, few things bring people together like sports. It's about competition at the highest level, but it's also about the joy and connections shared by people all celebrating something they have in common. Tonight, we welcome a new generation of players into the NBA, each with their own unique story. Stories of hard work, discipline, and perseverance. Stories like the one of NBA Finals MVP Jalen Brunson, a second-round pick in the 2018 NBA Draft. Every pick matters in the chase to become the next NBA champion. And that pursuit begins tonight. Let's get started. The first pick in the 2026 NBA Draft belongs to the Washington Wizards, who have 5 minutes to make their selection.
All right, so that was the commissioner with that pick. So the Washington Wizards are now on the clock. Let's say for them is that they picked Kwame Brown in 2001. We know how that went. 2010 they picked John Wall. So that's the last time that they picked number 1 overall. So they had Trae Young, Alex Sarr, Trey Johnson, and Anthony Davis. So 2 trades that you picked up in the offseason. And plus you have Sarr and Koulibaly on the team. So AJ Dembonsa, who we know, a star player from Brockton, Massachusetts, was projected a lottery ticket, especially when he was in high school. Graduated in 2025, went to BYU for 1 year, was the leading scorer out of all the freshman class as he gets as he waits his name to get drafted number 1 overall. However, Darren Peterson, the other Kansas guard, on the board, and then you got Cam Boozer, who is with his father, Carlos Boozer, who was an NBA legend to say the least. I believe he is a Hall of Famer. Should be in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, he is in the Hall of Fame. He just got inducted last year. They were 15th in the East last year, and then they don't have any free agent signings, but they had picked up Davis, Trae Young, Koulibaly, and Alex Sarr. So pretty much you finish off your stars with drafting AJ Dembonsa here with the first pick. And you can see he's kind of patiently awaiting to see if his name gets called up here, as we're under the 2.5 minute mark of this draft. And honestly too, with this draft pick right here, if you draft a Bonsta, that will set you up to be a playoff team next year. And now the pick is in, however, so 5 minutes are on the clock for the Utah Jazz. They're on the clock. And this is the pick. The pick is in now, as we await the pick by Commissioner Adam Silver. Cameron Boozer waiting along here. Let's see if he gets his name called. We got Darren Peterson also waiting as well. It would be a shocker if Dembonsa does not go number 1 overall. All right, the first pick is in. However, let's see if it is AJ Dybonsa. With the first overall pick in the 2026 NBA draft, let's listen in as the commissioner is set to make his pick. Here, will it be one of the big three, Dybonsa, Peterson, and Boozer? As they await their turn, and we are awaiting the commissioner's response as we the clock is inaccurate, okay? Just to let y'all know. Here's the pick.
With the first pick in the 2026 NBA Draft, the Washington Wizards select Anise Dybonsa Jr. from Brigham Young University.
So AJ Dybonsa will go number 1 overall to the Washington Wizards. A standout at BYU, correction, from Brockton, one of the first in Massachusetts to ever get drafted number 1 overall. As he walks his way around, he's greeted by a couple of teammates as he walks up to the stage right now to meet up with the commissioner, Adam Silver. The family looking along. As the Washington Wizards have their new star. And he puts on his cap as he's met up with the commissioner, Adam Silver. Utah finally on the clock now. Utah on a rough year, to say the least. And Dybonsa 6'8", 217. He's a 3-level scorer, however, in the NBA, in college. Likes to do some layups, takes it on a 10-foot shot, highly contested, and he can really shoot from downtown. A really dangerous guy. He makes some NBA-level shots as well, especially from down low. He very utilizes those shots very well as an NBA. As the Utah Jazz are finally on the clock. And the pick is in now for the Jazz. Now, the biggest controversy was what is the Utah Jazz going to pick with this? Draft pick. Are they going to pick Darren Peterson or are they going to pick Cam Boozer? So speculations came out last week is that we knew DeBonza was going to go number 1 overall. And then eventually Utah had the opposition of picking guard Darren Peterson from Kansas. And that's who they had originally. Phenomenal year at Kansas. And will it be... And along with that, you have Cam Boozer, who had a great year carrying the Duke team to the Elite Eight. However, they got bounced in the first round. But as we await the pick here by the commissioner, kind of still waiting. Darren Peterson, what a standout guard at Duke, Kansas last year, and the pick is in. Let's listen in.
With the second pick in the 2026 NBA draft, the Utah Jazz select Darren Peterson from the University of Kansas.
So yes, it will be Darren Peterson going number 2 overall to the Utah Jazz. The guard from Kansas, who had a excellent year with the Jayhawks. As he's hugged by his family, his father. 2025 second team All Big 12 last season in Kansas. 2025-26, and he was the number 2 recruit in the SportsCenter Next 100 class as well. And Memphis finally on the clock here with pick number 3. So will it be Cam Boozer with this pick? And they're kind of leaning into that direction as well. So it kind of wouldn't be a shocker here if they end up choosing him with the number 3 overall pick. But however, he makes shots on the move as well. He's very athletic, very skillful as well. He is not, and he's totally unafraid of the big moment as well. Makes hard dunks as a player. As he will go number 3 overall. Darrell Peterson now will be the number 2 overall pick from Kansas. As the Memphis Grizzlies on the clock now. The Grizzlies too. We're exploring some trades too for Ja Morant. But however, it's about kind of like changing that diameter for the Memphis Grizzlies. They are looking for a big down low as well. After losing Desmond Bane and Jaren Jackson Jr. to a trade with Cole Anthony, it's how they're going to replace. It's how they're going to replace them. So the Grizzlies will. The pick is in now for the Grizzlies. As the pick is in for Memphis, they're still interviewing Darren Peterson, as he's interviewed by his family with Lisa Salters. They actually did well with this too. It reminds me of like the 2020 NBA draft when it was virtual and they had that mini stage in the back. They would have one side, it was ESPN, and the other side would be NBA. Shams Charania, hold on.
Himself on Saturday for a private visit in Canton, Ohio. The two sides sat down, talked about his mentality, his mindset, his excitement as a player. And Darren Peterson in that meeting expressed that he wanted to be a part of this Jazz transition. We know they went out and got Jaren Jackson Jr. to add to Lauri Markkanen and Keontae George, and now Darren Peterson joins the fold.
I was waiting to see what Shams had to say, however, as Darren Peterson is is gonna have an interview with a couple of announcers on his own end right now. The second overall pick is done. The third overall pick is in, however, and the Memphis Grizzlies take control of that with the third overall pick in the draft. Boozer still waiting his name. His family, Carlos and Caden, are there today. Caden stayed another year at Duke, just trying to rebuild and reconsider, get the experience from the Duke guys like John Shire. Great coach, one of the best in college basketball right now. I mean, he is the best after yesterday, after Dusty May became the head coach of the Chicago Bulls. Actually, not the Dallas Mavericks, correction. Chicago Bulls was Tiago Splitter. They have 9th and the 28th pick tonight, however. And the Memphis Grizzlies pick is in. Let's listen in to Adam Silver.
Third pick in the 2026 NBA draft, the Memphis Grizzlies select Cameron Boozer from Duke University.
So yes, it will be Cam Boozer. The forward from Duke is finally got his home in Memphis, Tennessee, helping out with John Morant and crew. Caden Boozer there as well, and the smile on Carlos Boozer's face is going to light up the room. John Shire sitting along as well. Couple of the family, Isaiah Evans and the family looking along as Boozer will walk his way up into the stage. In the Memphis Grizzlies colors, and now the Chicago Bulls finally on the clock here with the number 4 overall pick in the draft. Cameron Boozer, 6'8", 253. He is a pure basketball player, just to say the least. He makes some big finishes at the rim. Very good shooter outside the arc. And however, he is unafraid once again. 2025-26 ACC Player of the Year, 22.5 points per game, 56% from the field for the Duke Blue Devils. And he's an elite processor as well. And he is, like I said, not afraid to pass. Averaged almost nearly a double-double with Duke. Boozer taking the stage, and he will be now trading in the old, he'll be trading in the old blue of Duke Blue Devils to, people might not like me for this, but trading it in for a new Carolina blue. The pick is in, however, for the Chicago Bulls. This draft is really going by that fast. The whole family, too, sitting down. The wife. Wow. It's a really special moment if you're Carlos Boozer. Just seeing your son get drafted, and your other two sons are waiting to get drafted soon. See, I like this 2-minute, 5-minute draft because it kind of goes by fast. It's day one. There's two days worth of drafts. 60 picks each. As the Bulls with the 4th pick now. And the Bulls pick is in, however. Let's tune in.
4th pick in the 2026 NBA Draft, the Chicago Bulls select Caleb Wilson from the University of North Carolina.
So it will be Caleb Wilson from UNC going number 4 overall to the Chicago Bulls. And now the 5th pick in the draft is being put in now as Roy Williams' successor Hubert Davis looks along. 2025-2026 consensus second team All-American with UNC. He's a very explosive athlete. Like I said, unafraid to take it down and jam it to the rim as well. First team All-ACC last year. Makes some clutch changes as well. Very great defensively. Has some great instincts as well. And very productive on the rebounds as well, to say the least. As well, the LA Clippers are now on the clock with the 5th pick of the draft. However, top 5 picks from UNC: Antoine Jamison, Vince Carter in 98, Marvin Williams in 05, Raymond Felton back in 05 as the 5th pick, and then Caleb Wilson goes to the 4th pick in the draft. From the last 30 seasons, so it's been over 21 years since UNC has had a top 5 player in the draft. ESPN will step away for a commercial break here after Caleb Wilson. Actually, no. No, they have an interview with Caleb Wilson. They're running out of time now. The pick is in. I believe the pick is in. All right, the pick is in for the the Clippers. Let's see what Silver has to say.
With the 5th pick in the 2026 NBA Draft, the LA Clippers select Keaton Wagler from the University of Illinois.
So Keaton Wagler from Illinois will go number 5 actually to the LA Clippers. Very solid pick by the Clippers here. I mean, now that Harden's gone and whatnot, a great depth piece to add to your chart as well. Was an unranked prospect in the 2025 class. First Illinois freshman to be named All-American by the Associated Press. And he was a first team Big Ten player last season. Garland's still on the team too. So 6'5", 188, Jerry West Award winner, shooting guard of the year. He's a playmaker from the trenches, to say the least, as the Nets are on the clock here with the 6th overall pick. The hometown team. He has quick change of pace. In last season, 17 points per game, 40% from 3, 5.1 rebounds, and 4.2 assists per game. 46 points, went 9-11 for 3 3-pointers from... I'm just doing multitasking here. So, freshman 40-point games on... AJ DeBonta had one against Utah, 43, and then Keaton Wagler had 46. Wagler had 46 against Purdue, and then at Texas Tech, Kingston Flemings had 42 for for Houston actually. As the Brooklyn Nets are finally on the clock, the hometown team, waiting their name to be called here in tonight's draft. The Broad. And the pick is in for the Nets. The sixth pick now has been made. And a lot of high fives in that war room for the Brooklyn Nets. Some handshakes as well, as they do think that they have their guy here with the seventh pick. Let's see who it is. The hometown Brooklyn Nets. They're on their feet to see who they got.
With the sixth pick in the 2026 NBA Draft, the Brooklyn Nets select Michael Brown Jr. from the University of Louisville.
From Louisville, Michael Brown Jr., Mikel Brown Jr. will go to the Brooklyn Nets in the seventh pick now, going to the Sacramento Kings. Guarding Louisville. Good. I like that pick too. You didn't go crazy and just got a guard. Yes, Acuff is a great guard. I think he's a very phenomenal guard. But either way, they had a great pick there. Mikel Brown Jr. is very solid as a player. Very solid. Sacramento on the clock now. But he's a very good screen and roll guard as well. Last season, 18.2 points per game, 41% from the field, 4.7 assists per game, and 3.3 rebounds per game. Very good on transition as well. Does very well in laying it off the rack. As Mikel Brown Jr. doesn't really have to travel too far after tonight's draft, as he can look at apartments right down the street on apartments.com. The sixth overall pick in Brooklyn. The Nets have finally got their player to really set them up. And the pick is in for the Sacramento Kings. And I know
if you're actively
all my friends are at Rufus now. Oh, everybody's at Rufus. Genuine question: would anybody spend money just to go to listen to boom boom boot boom ooh 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 oot 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 oot? It's DJs. It's DJs. It's Rufus DeSoul is DJs. I just don't get it. Oot 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 oot. I could have just went to a Don Toliver concert, man. Pick is in, however, for the Sacramento Kings, the 7th pick of the draft. Adam Silver walking to the stage now.
With the 7th pick in the 2026 NBA draft, the Sacramento Kings select Darius Acuff Jr.
Whoa!
University of Arkansas.
So finally, Darius Acuff Jr. comes off the board as the Sacramento Kings finally draft him. Saw that big game against Alabama a few years back. His father, Darius, played basketball at Eastern Kentucky. As he finally walks across the stage, and he will trade in the red of the Arkansas Razorbacks to a purple of the Sacramento Kings as he gets ready to light the beam up in Sacramento. He was a first-team All-American by the consensus last season. As the 8th pick is currently being made right now by the Atlanta Hawks. So if you're Atlanta, who you're going to pick now? Do you realize Acuff is off the board? He's an elite offensive player overall. 23.5 points per game, 44% from 3, 6.4 assists per game, and then 3.1 rebounds per game. So this guy is totally a great playmaker, however. Very good on the pick and roll. He has very great elusiveness on the court. Sees the floor very well whatsoever, to say the least. As the Atlanta Hawks are now on the clock. The 8th overall pick now. He has kind of the similar stat lines. Players to lead the SEC in points per game. It was Pete Maravich in 44.5 points per game, but he had more assists than Pete Maravich. And we know the pick is in now. As ESPN goes to commercial break. And I'll tell you, wow. So Dallas now on the clock. This draft is very moving by fast. I'll tell you that.
Ready?
I mean, for real, would I go to Rufus? Probably not.
Here in the NCC newsroom, and today is
playing at new Highmark Stadium, seating 62,000 people with their first game on September 17th against Detroit.
Draft day, Johnny Manziel.
Oh, why are we still waiting? This commercial break has been so long. As they're back in Brooklyn, they have the sight line of the Brooklyn Bridge here. As the pick is being made, let's go.
26 NBA draft. The Atlanta Hawks select Kingston Fleming from the University.
So, Kingston Fleming's a standout guard from Houston. Played phenomenal throughout his time with the Cougars. As he said his favorite player was Derrick Rose when he was with the Chicago Bulls. His sister Bella, Texas Gatorade Player of the Year, has signed with Duke. He was the second team in the consensus All-American last season. As now the Dallas Mavericks are officially on the clock. Very good. 16.1 points per game. He is a deceptively athletic. 39% from the three-pointer. Very good pick. Very solid pick by the Atlanta Hawks here. The NBA is not, ESPN's not running the clock. So how the heck do I have the clock running, but, ESPN doesn't have the clock running, however. As he goes number 8 overall this season. Goes number 8 overall from the Atlanta Hawks.
All right. Bowen Byram, Sabres defenseman, is being traded along with Jordan Greenway to the Chicago Blackhawks. The Sabres are receiving the 4th overall pick in this year's draft. I'm also hearing that Alex Tuck will be traded. It's going to be a sign and trade. I heard there's 5 teams that could be involved. Boston is one of them. I don't know. We'll see.
Wow. All right, pick is in for the Mavericks.
He's singing in the...
Wow, this is not a surprise. As Dusty May just got drafted. Dusty May got signed yesterday as the head coach. Though we know the pick is in, and Dusty May will look along. With the Michigan guys tonight, so it wouldn't be shocking here if he goes with somebody from Michigan. Let's hear it.
With the 9th pick in the 2026 NBA Draft, the Dallas Mavericks select Morez Johnson Jr. from the
Wow.
University of Michigan.
So Morez Johnson from Michigan, great player at Michigan, led the team all around, is now a national champion heading to Dallas. What a pick. What a pick. And Dusty May, some smiles on the face there of the family. As Dusty May is walking around a day, he's going to be greeted by a couple of his players, Ade Mara there. And he's walking as Dusty May, embraced with a hug with his next teammate as he will follow him around from college to the NBA. What? That is fantastic. I've always loved that kind of story. I always love it. I thought they were going to get Yaxel too. So Milwaukee, who just traded for Giannis yesterday, is now officially on the clock. So Merez Johnson Jr., 6'9", 251. As a forward, he played all around. He was all over the place. Very great defender from down deep low. Down low very much. For the Wolverines. He's very good length and he's very athletic as well. Now that it's the 10th pick of the draft now, who are you going to pick if you're the Milwaukee Bucks? Facility looking around, a huge celebration for the family, a lot of emotion for Merez Johnson's mother, Merez Johnson Jr.'s mother, who is in the crowd tonight. It's all happy tears, and it's definitely a special night for each and every one of each and everybody, and it's great when it's. This is why I do the draft, because it's very special.
Draft day.
Dusty May also getting some handshakes from a couple of people in the audience there. Stretching my back too. And the pick is in for the Milwaukee Bucks now. Will it be Ade Mara, who, like I said, it's something that they need to add on after losing Giannis and losing Bobby Portis. So these next two picks are something that will be relied on for their future and something that could add on to the depth of the Milwaukee Bucks. I need to stretch my back, bro. I mean, they don't need to really go center. As the team looks along in the facility now. They don't even know that they cut. Alright, the 10th pick is being made now. The Bucks have their pick. Let's see who they get. Will it be Giannis's replacement?
With the 10th pick in the 2026 NBA Draft, the Milwaukee Bucks select Braden Burries from the University of Arizona.
So yes, Braden Burries from Arizona getting drafted to the Bucks there. Number 10 overall. Both parents played played basketball at Cal State St. Bernardino. And he was a Gatorade Player of the Year last year. The guard from Arizona. Honorable mention, All-American last year as well. And Burry's first team All Pro. He's a shooter, a very good transitioner. 16.1 points per game, 39% from the point land, 4.9 rebounds per game, and 2.5 assists per game. Very good in transition. Has a no-look pass, however, which as you can see, it's just he's also very versatile too. Could take it to the rim, take it to the rack, and is very fearless on offense. As Brandon Burries is now heading to the Milwaukee Bucks. In his first month, he had averages 10.5 points per game. Now it's 17.3 points per game. The huge difference in field goal percentage from November, 40%, 51 through December and April, and 33% in November, then from 3, and 40% from December through April. The Golden State Warriors are now on the clock now with the 11th pick of the draft. The Warriors coming off a year where they were in the play-in game and they were eliminated after their second round in the play-in by the Phoenix Suns. However, this year they had a couple key additions to their roster, especially on defensively and offensively. Kristaps Porzingis was a part of the deal with the Atlanta Hawks with Jonathan Kuminga, and they also acquired Al Horford, or actually signed Al Horford to a deal. And although Al Horford doesn't have a lot of time left in the NBA, he will probably end it with the Golden State Warriors. And still he makes good plays on the board. So Golden State still on the clock here. Curry and Butler, 83 games missed combined this season. As the war room for Golden State looks along here. And they're taking quite a while to make their selection. So probably you could go for Yaxel here. Ademara. Also looking around. So they have to be under 10 to 15 seconds. And we do have a pick now. As eyes are on Lindeberg. From Michigan. The pick is in, however, for the Warriors.
The 1-1 from Stillman. With Robin.
So it kind of took them a while to make the pick here. But Silver is back out. Let's see what they get.
With the 11th pick in the 2026 NBA Draft, the Golden State Warriors select Yaxel Lendeborg.
The forward from Michigan, Yaxel Lendeborg, will go number 11 to the Golden State Warriors here. And the Warriors do have a forward, to say the least. It's a good pick by the Warriors, too. Get some backcourt to your team. And get some depth underneath the rim as well. As Yaxel Lendeborg. Very phenomenal pick by the Warriors here at pick number 11. Pick number 12, however, goes to the Oklahoma City Thunder. He was the Big Ten Player of the Year with Michigan, so he doesn't really have to trade colors, however. The consensus first team All-American with Michigan. And the emotion rains down on Yaxel Lenenberg and the family. All hugs and smiles. 15.1 points per game last season. Started off with UAB, and then he transferred his way to Michigan. That's how he got his start. Led the team in points, rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks. And then transferred to Michigan last season. Hard off the glass last year. National champion through the tournament. Made some great plays on the board as well. Very great defender, like I said. Very versatile and is phenomenal defensively. Great board protector. Can make blocks. Can make some phenomenal blocks. And great ad for this Warriors team as they look to add the future to this franchise down the road, as he gets the chance to play with the greatest shooter of all time in Stephen Curry. Oklahoma City, however, has the 10th pick in the draft next. And Oklahoma, like I said, OKC, 2025 NBA champions. Last season made it to the Western Conference Finals and got eliminated in Game 7 against the Spurs. And the pick is in now for the Thunder. Get this, back-to-back first round picks from kids in two NBA players from New England.
Rainbow face, ain't no buffalo, ain't no way. I might be alright, but it ain't okay. Niggas that left, niggas went right, I went left and stay left. Nothing to say, never they lips.
And Axel Lenenberg, the family, the mother is now in the Golden State hat now, as she can now envision that the dreams have been accomplished from her son. Now the biggest test of it will be playing against Steph Curry. The pick is in for Oklahoma City. Let's see what they pick.
2026 NBA Draft. The Oklahoma City Thunder select Adai Mara from Zaragoza, Spain, and the University of Michigan.
Adai Mara, the center from Michigan. However, this is big time too. And Dusty May was like, damn it. Like, he knew he wanted him on the team. But Adai Mara, we'll have to work with Chet Holmgren too. 7'3" all-time, the tallest player so far. So, the guy that he could defend Wembanyama. It's Wemby's defender. So this is like their version of Wemby right here. 2025 Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year. So the Miami Heat technically are on the clock, but Adai Mara, 12.1 points per game, 67% from the field, 6.8 rebounds per game, and 2.6 boards per game. So he is a very good playmaker off the glass. So technically, Miami is on the clock right now, but this is the reported trade that Miami is going to have. Once it's all said and done throughout the next couple of days, Miami will receive Giannis Antetokounmpo. This is the Giannis trade pick here that will go to the Milwaukee Bucks. As you can see, I'm in a Airbnb still, so I kind of am doing this from a neutral site. So this trade technically is what Milwaukee wants. So that's why it's taken long, and it's taken all the way down to 20-something seconds. What? Great. Now my TV doesn't work because the internet's down. So that's why this trade took a little bit long to really process. Because they want to know what Milwaukee wants, how they can improve outside of Giannis Antetokounmpo. Yes, they have a young team, but who is going to replace the role of Giannis? So that's the pick here for the Miami Heat. That's what they're aiming for right now. I have like 17 different tabs open too. Alright, the pick is in now, however. As they kind of diverted to a whole different, setup here. Look at this crew. Richard Kenny the Jet Smith, too. It's like primarily one member of the Inside the NBA crew here. The pick is in now, however. Let's listen in what Adam Silver has to say.
With the 13th pick in the 2026 NBA draft, the Miami Heat select Nate Ament from the University of Tennessee.
So Nate Ament will right now be drafted by the Miami Heat, but a reported trade will happen is that he will land, once it's all said and done, he will be a Milwaukee Buck. As of right now, until for the next few days, however, he will be in. Right now, as of right now, today, he is a Miami Heat, member of the Miami Heat, but he will be a part in the Giannis trade. So, with this pick, it will be Nate Amnett being included into this trade, along with 3 first-round picks for the next few years. The Charlotte Hornets, next on the clock here. An impressive turnaround season for them. The 14th pick now, the Charlotte Hornets hold. Wow, this is a good story.
In spite of what she went through.
So Nate Amnett from Tennessee. As he is being celebrated with his family. He's finally in the NBA. 3rd Tennessee player selected in the lottery, along with Marcus Halislip, and others. The Charlotte Hornets are on the clock. I would see them go for LeBaron Philon here from Alabama. Could go back to back. You wouldn't know how good, like how well that he would fit into the system of So the Charlotte Hornets still await their turn here. I have a minute left on the clock. His parents are talking with Lisa Salters from ESPN. What a fantastic story. As Lisa Salters embraces with a hug with Amnett. And the Charlotte Hornets on the clock. So, along with Nate Amnett, 6'9", has the height of LeBron James. Very heavy off the... Very good shooter, too. And awesome defensively, making phenomenal blocks along the board. And it's back to Botcha. Alright, the pick is in now, however. And the pick is in now for, like I said, the pick is in now for the Charlotte Hornets. But let's readjust to the fact that the Charlotte Hornets, fantastic year that they had. They just came up short in the play-in round where they got eliminated by the Orlando Magic. But let me tell you one thing. The Charlotte Hornets have a great future ahead of them. They have such a great future ahead of them. They just added a key shooter in Kobe White. And along with that, you pair him up with LaMelo Ball, who's been balling since the day he made it into Charlotte. On top of that, a huge turnaround this season for the Charlotte Hornets. Let's see who adds on to their team here with the 14th pick, correction.
As part of a deal to be finalized later, the Miami Heat are trading to Milwaukee Bucks the draft rights to Nate Amen, the 13th pick. And with the 14th pick in the 2026 NBA draft, the Charlotte Hornets select Hannes Steinbach from Würzburg, Germany, and the University of Washington.
Hannes Steinbach, the forward from Washington, going number 14 to the Charlotte Hornets, as with the 14th pick of the draft. Charlotte doesn't have to wait too long. They're up in 4 more picks, though, however. In 10 more picks, the defending champions, the reigning champions, the New York Knicks, are going to be on the clock. However, it's the 15th now. Chicago, time to put their name on the map. Hannes Steinbach. Father was a teammate of Dirk Nowitzki out in Germany. Burkhardt was his father. And he wants to be like Dirk as well. A lot of emotion from Hannes' father is the Chicago Bulls. Are officially on the clock now. Chicago, too. Now you're Chicago, you got to go for Phylon. LeBaron Phylon. Dirk Nowitzki. Wow, he sent a message too. The 2011 NBA Finals MVP. Welcoming him into the league. pick is in, however, for Chicago. Let's acknowledge that first. As ESPN goes into commercial break. I think I'm going to step away for a sec too, so I'll be back. All right, welcome back, everybody. So, it's the 15th pick. We're halfway done through the draft, and the Bulls have the pick. Here it is.
With the 15th pick in the 2026 NBA draft, the Chicago Bulls select Dalen Swain from the University of Texas.
So, Dalen Swain, the guard from Texas, will go number 15th overall. Washington will be better than them next year. Swain, 17.3 points per game, 54% from the field. Very good finisher, however. That's if the whole team stays healthy. Dalen Swain, the family in attendance too. I'm not going to run the clock. Hold on. I'm just going to do zeros. All right, the Grizzlies now on the clock. Swain spent his first 2 seasons at Xavier, then followed Sean Miller to Austin to play with the Texas Longhorns. I'm sorry. I don't know if you hear it right now. So my Airbnb is a basement. So I'm technically living on the base in the basement of this Airbnb, and technically it has. All right, the pick is in for Memphis. And I could hear the rain coming down. So, right now, this is per Shams Charania. We have breaking news. According to Shams Charania, the Memphis is trading the 16th pick Bennett Sturts to the Oklahoma City Thunder. So, this pick will be Bennett Sturts the guard from Iowa. He will. This is breaking news by Shams Charania. So the pick is in, and this pick will be traded. Here's the pick. Here's what Shams Charania just posted on Twitter, and I'm gonna confirm this now. Shams Charania sources: Memphis is trading the 16th pick Bennett Sturts to the Oklahoma City Thunder for 2 second-round picks, 2 second-rounders. So not only that, Oklahoma City will have this pick, and I don't know, will this trade implement the next pick though too? Well, we got our first trade of the night. Besides that, once this trade's over, once this pick is over, we got to figure out. Bennett Sturts and the family is the Oklahoma City Thunder now on the clock with number 17. The 17th pick now. And they got the family again for so they have under a minute to go here in the NBA for the Oklahoma City Thunder. See what they have to pick. I mean, they just traded for Sturts. And still almost. So Kenny the Jet Smith is there. So is Jay Will. Kenny the Jet Smith, Jay Will, and along with Jay Will, there's Richard Jefferson. Along with Speaking with Caleb Wilson and Cam Boozer right now. As Oklahoma City just ran out of the time here. So we're awaiting their pick, however. Alright, the pick is in for the Thunder, however. We just got alert that the pick is in. For the Thunder. Oh, they're signing trading cards now? So, this is a part of the deal with, it's a swap, it's a trade swap between these two teams. The proposed trade with Oklahoma City. Alright. Can't add via Memphis on here. But this is a trade, and with this pick, the Memphis will draft 17th now with OKC, so the Grizzlies get 2 second-round picks in the swap. So Grizzlies, Memphis is trading the 17th, and the Detroit Pistons move back to 21 for 3 second-round picks. So Memphis is trading this pick to the Detroit Pistons. So originally, it's from Oklahoma City to Memphis to Detroit. So Memphis will have the 21st pick of the draft.
Pick in the 2026 NBA draft, the Oklahoma City Thunder select Ebuka Okori from Stanford University.
One of the sleepers of the draft, in my opinion. Ebuka Okori gets drafted 17th overall. So with this, the Detroit Pistons will get Ebuka Okori. However, '18th pick, the Charlotte Hornets are now on the clock now. Second player drafted out of New Hampshire. If I'm tweaking, I hear noise. Charlotte back on the clock here. This pick. So, originally, the Oklahoma City Thunder will get Okori. But it will be going to... Now he's going to Detroit. As ESPN will go to break now. Charlotte now officially on the clock with the 18th pick. Hold on, my back. Bro. It's probably because I've been sitting in this position for so dadgum long, man. Hold on, let me... Chat, I'm gonna stretch. All right, Charlotte is now picking now. Let's see.
In the 2026 NBA Draft, the Charlotte Hornets select Christian Anderson Jr. from Texas Tech University.
So, Christian Anderson Jr., the guard from Texas Tech, going 18th to Charlotte here. I'll tell you, Charlotte got a 6'1 guard, 180 pounds. Very nifty and very versatile. Christian Anderson said his biggest passion outside of sports is drawing. So, Christian Anderson, Hornets' last 2 draft picks are Hannes Steinbach and Christian Anderson. Great depth pieces overall, including Anderson. Steinbach, who will fill in a little bit of the forward role as well. So the 19th pick now, the Toronto Raptors have the pick here. Then San Antonio, the runners-up in this year in the NBA draft. And the Toronto Raptors, however, on the clock here with 2:50 left to go. Christian Anderson, first team Big 12 player last year for the Red Raiders. So we had our first few trades of the night here.
Sucks that one. That is drilled deep out there into the gap. That's going to go all the way to the wall and score a run. Nate Eaton is in.
So let's recap what I've heard. So Charlotte to recap is that this is Shams Charania in his tweet. Grizzlies have moved back to 16 from 16 to 20 from 17 then to 20 from 17 to 21 for accumulating 5 second-round picks to move back just 5 spots. That is insane. And the Raptors still haven't drafted. They're still kind of debating who should they pick here. The best player available is LeBaron Philon Jr. And the pick goes to Alan Graves, from the forward from Santa Clara, with this pick. I turned away for a second. I didn't even... ESPN, I looked down on my phone, and you guys were making the pick. Get better. That's awful. Looked down on my phone for 1 second, and now Alan Graves gets selected to Santa Clara. Are you kidding me? So, he's one of 3 siblings that played D1 basketball. Played with Santa Clara. Led them to this 5th first-round pick from Santa Clara in the modern draft era as well. Alan Graves, pick number 19 in the first round of the draft. I mean, LeBaron Philon's got to be still up there. I'm shocked they didn't even pick Philon with that pick. So Detroit has next pick, but it goes to the rights. We're 20 picks into this draft. Ugh, my back's killing me. And this is the only stream that we're having for the NBA draft. I believe, as of right now, we will have a stream Thursday night for the Red Sox game. I believe will Suarez be on the mound? Or Bennett was yesterday, so Thursday we'll be live streaming that. Shh. Oh, it's the rematch of last year, Schlittler and Conley Early. The rematch of Game 3, technically. How is this not an international game? I get the Red Sox aren't good this year, but like... Alright, so the runner-up, San Antonio Spurs, after 1 week, 10 days ago was the last day. They lost the NBA Finals 10 days ago. So this is kind of a pick that they need to find here to really enhance. I would go guard here, and this is, if I'm shocked, it should be LeBaron Philon, and should be the replacement for De'Aaron Fox. They need a guard, however. Alright, the pick is in, however. As LeBaron Philon Jr. still awaits here. What's making Philon drop this far is my question. I wonder if it's him being the G League dropout. It's going to be Philadelphia. I know it's going to be like Philadelphia that's going to draft him or something like that. But I don't think they would draft him. I think they would go forward or center here. They just drafted a guard last year, Edgecombe. They just drafted Edgecombe last year. Not only that, Tyrese Maxey's playing on a level that is their one now. And who knows how long you're going to have Joel Embiid on the team, so. All right, San Antonio, the pick is in. Let's listen in to Silver.
26th NBA draft, the San Antonio Spurs select Jaden Quaintance from the University of Kentucky.
Jaden Quaintance was a freshman at Kentucky, the 6'10", 225 big man, only played 4 games with the Wildcats last season due to a knee injury. However, he averaged 9.4 points per game, 7.9 boards, and 2.5 blocks as a freshman at Arizona State. I mean, good depth piece, and somebody that will start off with the G League team and then work their way to the NBA. So, Jaden Quaintance, 21st to the San Antonio Spurs. All right, the Detroit Pistons are now on the clock, but this is via Memphis. As they're on the clock here with the 21st pick of the NBA draft. I mean, it's smart because honestly here you could go center or potentially go for a guard. Who knows when who knows when Ja Morant is going to be out with Memphis. Who knows? So they have 2:35 left on the clock here. I'm not going to run the clock, but This room's hot.
Guys, we're live at the Averman Dictator residence. She's munching right now. We're currently watching Colombia versus DR Congo. So,
All right, the pick is in now for this trade between the Detroit and I don't know why I said Chicago. Detroit and Memphis are having this trade here. The pick is in, however. Kareem Lopez, along with LeBaron Philon, Chris Sanak, Cameron Carr, Jaden Quaintance, and Isaiah Evans are still on the board. Quaintance? Just got drafted.
The Detroit Pistons select Kareem Lopez from Hermosillo, Mexico, and
So Kareem Lopez in the trade of for the Detroit Pistons, the Memphis Grizzlies will receive Kareem Lopez, however, from Mexico. He also played overseas in New Zealand. 19 years old, 6'8", 222. And man, what a tall guy he is. As he goes 11.9 points per game, 49% from the field, 6.1 rebounds per game, 1.9 assists per game. However, he recently started to play the harmonica. Wow. 76ers now on the clock now. So a little bit of backstory about him too. This is per Jeff Goodman. 6'9", 225. Oh, hails from Mexico, but spent the last 2 years in New Zealand with the New Zealand Breakers of the Australian NBL. He moved to Mexico to Spain when he from Mexico to Spain when he was 14 years old. And now he finally gets a spot here in the NBA. His family looking along. I don't think they go guard. I don't think they go guard. I think they go with somebody down low. Phylon is still available. They have Cameron Carr, who's still available, who's the guard. They have to. I mean, I would go Sanak. Or Sanak.
Snack the chicken nuggets with half Sprite, half lemonade, no ice, please. I'll do, sir. I'll do. I know. I know. Actually, I'm going to order. Do they have barbecue chicken? Do they have barbecue chicken? No. Okay. Oh man, barbecue sauce. Sprite, half lemonade, no ice.
Oh. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? LeBaron Phylon just got drafted to the Philadelphia 76ers. That's BS. Now I wonder what the Knicks are going to pick now. Are they going to trade or... It's here.
Philon Jr. from the University of Alabama.
LeBaron Philon Jr. Damn bastards. They find one way to piss off Ben Smith. It's that right there. .22 per game last season, 50% from the field, 5 assists per game, and 3.5 rebounds per game. Now I don't get it. You have too many guards. You have VJ. You have Maxey on top of it. You don't need any more guards. Plus your bench is fine. I'm not even left-handed. I still made it into the basket over there. Now they go to commercial. Whoa! This is going to be a surpriser. Zuby Ejiofor just got drafted by the Atlanta Hawks. What? Zuby Ejiofor. Big East Player of the Year. Big East Freshman of the Year. This is unbelievable. That is a steal by the Atlanta Hawks. Let's acknowledge it here. 2 guys have dropped. Zuby, bro. What the hell was that commercial? Map for... What? How is that allowed on TV? How is that allowed on TV? How in the world is that allowed on television? I don't even know why. I'm not responsible for it whatsoever, but I don't even know how that was allowed on TV in the first place. That is crazy. Man, we've been streaming for almost 3 hours now. And the pick is in. We know Zuby Ejiofor from St. John's will be the pick here. And this is quite a surpriser here. Big East Player of the Year, Big East Freshman of the Year in 25, as it's Adam Silver to make the call here, as we know it's Zuby.
23rd pick in the 2026 NBA Draft, the Atlanta Hawks select Zuby Ejiofor from St. John's University.
Dude's a good pick, though. That's a good pick. 6'7", 215. I saw him play over in Providence back in February. Very versatile player. Very good off the glass. Very good eye movement throughout the court. And now the defending NBA champions, New York Knicks, are now on the clock. With the 24th pick. And now the New York Knicks, the defending champions, are now officially on the clock. As now they have traded with the Lakers. So a pick swap here between the defending champions and the Los Angeles Lakers. Spike Lee. Excuse me. The proposed trade to the Los Angeles Lakers now. It's the reported trade by the New York Knicks. So we'll be swapping picks here. According to Shams Charania. The city's on their feet here, and the pick is in right now. Let's see who. And now it's Cameron Carr from Baylor going to the New York Knicks. But we'll go to the Los Angeles Lakers with the swap. And yeah, this is a good pick. It's just, for the Lakers, it's just finding the right replacement post LeBron. And he fits through that. He's 6'4", 184. Although he's not that big of a guy, he can shoot very well, and he can go up in sorts of ways. Though he will take a picture in orange and blue, he will be trading that for a purple and yellow momentarily. However, the Los Angeles Lakers now officially on the clock. Father Chris was the 1997 Slam Dunk champion, though he will go to the Lakers on this pick once it's all said and done. The Lakers now on the clock here on pick number 24. So now the defending NBA champion New York Knicks are on the clock. Cameron Carr's father, like I told you, Chris, wasn't slam dunk champion. Officially in the NBA. We have a trade. So the Lakers will receive Cameron Carr, and the 25th pick will go to the New York Knicks once it's all said and done. I was like, whoa. Did we get another trade while we were at it? Like, damn. And the Knicks have received cash considerations from the Lakers for that pick. And the clock will run down here as the New York Knicks have yet to make a pick. The defending NBA champions will have this pick after the Lakers. Let me turn this down low here, and then I'm going to turn it on so I know when. You won't hear me. The pick is in now. I'm not trying to reproduce or anything. I'm trying to just hear what they say, because oh, so the pick will go to So this is the Knicks pick, and it will be Sergio Delaria.
The Oklahoma City Thunder are acquiring the draft rights to Bennett Sturts, the 16th pick. The Detroit Pistons are acquiring the draft rights to Ibuka Okori, the 17th pick. and the Memphis Grizzlies are acquiring the draft rights to Kareem Lopez, the 21st pick. And with the 25th pick in the 2026 NBA draft, the Los Angeles Lakers select Sergio De La Reyna from Valladolid, Spain, and the Valencia Basketball Club.
Sergio Delaria, 6'6", 175. The New York Knicks go overseas with this pick. 20-year-old, 6'5", 175. Like I just said. Last season in Valencia basket, he went 9.7 points per game, 44% from the field, 41% from three, however. And now he will make his reign with the New York Knicks. It's the 26th pick, so the Denver Nuggets are on the clock. Four more picks left here in the draft as we approach 11 o'clock at night here on the East Coast. 10 o'clock Central Time, 9 o'clock Mountain, and 8 o'clock Western Standard Time. Denver Nuggets are on the clock now. And the Celtics are one away. By the way, it's pre-recorded. They filmed that shit at 2 o'clock. Five picks left. So no pick has... Nuggets pick is in. Now. Are you kidding me? That was my guy, too. Damn it, Denver. Damn it, Philadelphia. You guys are taking my guys. Son of a nutcracker, bro. Tarris Reed Jr. Oh, it's going to the Spurs. Oh, good. And so Denver is trading this pick, the 26th, for number 35 and two future second-round picks. Tomorrow I'm not streaming, so the Deputy Commissioner will... Deputy Commissioner Mark Tatum will take over tomorrow. And now the Boston Celtics are officially on the clock. Alright, who are we gonna... Oh, thank God. I saw a trade alert and I'm like, oh shit. Alright. So the Celtics now on the clock. Our team. What are they? They're the type of team that will wait to the last minute and pick. Because I'm not joking. This team will do it. It's Brad Stevens. I might sign off after this, just to give you all a heads up. Bang! We got Sam, brother. Let's go. Dude's a great pick. And we have an early pick tomorrow, too. I'll admit, I was not a fan of Hugo when he got drafted, and I realized I'm eating a bowl of crow now. The fact that I didn't even know that he was a top 5 projectile back in 24. That's a great pick by the Celtics. You have Chris Sinak. .6'10", 240. Exactly the guy that we need. Alright, I'm going to end the stream here. Thank you all for watching. Good night, everybody. We'll see you soon.